Hello everyone, Danny here today to talk to you about Dave Ramsey's book, Total Money Makeover. Now, before I get started about the book, if you're someone who, like me, loves audiobooks, but doesn't like spending a lot of money without knowing ahead of time that, hey, this is actually going to be a book for me, subscribe, turn on notifications. That's what I do. I let you know about the books. Now, to the book. This is not my first experience with Dave Ramsey. I've never been to one of his seminars live, but I have been to one of his seminars on video, on CD. I own one of his books in hardcover. And then I just got this book here. My wife and I have been following his program for a while now. In fact, we have no credit card debt. We are completely out of our credit card debt. We are to step 4, I think it is, maybe 5. We're working on getting the $1,000 savings. We had it, and then we had some emergency medical bills pop up, and we had to spend that on the emergency medical bills, but we didn't have to use a credit card. The program works. You're probably wondering, well, if you're already following the program, and you're already familiar with the program, why'd you get the book? Is it just so you could do a review on it? No, not that way at all. I got the book for a couple of reasons. The first one being it's a good reminder of what we're working towards. The Christmas holidays just ended. And while most of our family and friends and people we know we're spending a lot of money on really cool Christmas presents for everybody and putting a lot of them on credit cards, we didn't do that. We had to be very selective. We only gave Christmas presents to our children and their spouses or girlfriends. We didn't give a Christmas present to each other. We didn't give a Christmas present to our parents, to sisters, to anything, because we refused to go into debt for Christmas. And while everyone in my family and in my circles understands what we're doing and applauds it and didn't have a problem with that, it's still there's a part of you that's like, I really wanted to be able to spend more and buy more stuff for people on Christmas. So now that it's over, it's a good reminder of what we're working towards, because all of Dave Ramsey's books follow a certain pattern to the books. You're going to find similarities, but they all approach it differently. He may explain the same thing in every single book, but every time he explains it differently. He comes at it from a different angle. So it's a fresh listen. And oftentimes what will happen is you'll hear something the third time, but it's being presented in a different way, and that third way that it's being presented is what clicks with you. You've heard it twice before, but it didn't click with you. This time, it clicks with you. It's good for motivation, help keep us motivated. Okay, we're doing the right thing. We are on the right track, and we are going to be so happy that we're doing this someday. Good motivation for that. It's, as I said, his books follow a pattern. So he's going to debunk several myths. Now, because I'm already familiar with his program, I've already heard him debunk those myths. The nice thing about Dave Ramsey is when he debunks a myth, he doesn't just tell you, well, the common belief, and this is a very common belief, is that having a mortgage is good because it gives you a tax deduction. That's one of the ones he always addresses. He doesn't go, well, yeah, that just doesn't make any sense, that's not true, and leave it at that. He explains it in a good, logical fashion, something that you can use to go to other people when you have family or friends who don't understand why you're doing what you're doing and they question it. They may be questioning it because they care and they're worried about you. I'll give you an example. We homeschooled for many years. We had people who were legitimately concerned that if you homeschool, are your kids going to get a proper education? And we had people who weren't legitimately concerned. They just hate homeschooling. Common question I was asked, though, was if you homeschool, how do your kids learn their social skills? Now, I had been prepared ahead of time. Hey, if you homeschool, this is going to be a question you're going to get asked. So I'd had time to think about it, and I'd had time to prepare a response. And when I would get asked that, I would tell people, well, first off, your kids don't learn their socialization skills from their peers. You want to see what happens when you take a group of kids and you just have them learn their social skills from each other? Read Lord of the Flies. That's what happens. Your kids learn their social skills from their parents and the other adults in their life, the people who have those skills. Your kids don't learn how to drive by sitting behind the wheel, sticking in a key, turning it on, and just going. Someone has to teach them how to drive. It's the same with any skill, and socialization is a skill. But they do get the chance to practice those skills at school. There's no denying that. What we will do to make sure that they get a chance to practice those skills is we will make sure that they are in a lot of group environments. There's sports, football, baseball, soccer. There's activities like chess clubs, which my kids have done all of these. Drama clubs, my kids have done that. There's friends and family. We make sure that they're not isolated, because I do agree that isolating them would stunt them socially. Now, if the people I was addressing, this was a legitimate concern they had, they could relax and go, okay, Danny and Sonia have this handled. We're good to go. If it was someone who just, absolutely hated homeschooling, then they'd try hitting me with something else that I'd have to be prepared for. Dave Ramsey explaining things the way he does, as you're getting out of debt, we don't have a credit card now. My wife and I don't have a credit card to our name. So if we have people come to me, well, you don't have a credit card, what do you do about emergencies? I can answer that question. I can answer that question in a legitimate way that shuts them down. That causes them to go, okay, that actually makes a lot of sense, and I can't really refute that. Because Dave Ramsey has taken the time to think about this. How often has it happened? Someone says something to you and you go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. And then an hour later, a day later, you go, wait a minute. I didn't really think that out. Because if I stop and really think about it, that actually makes no sense whatsoever. That happens a lot with these financial, your mortgage is an important tax tool. Someone says that to you, you go, yeah, that makes sense. Unless you sit down and actually crunch the numbers like Dave Ramsey's done, that makes sense. But once you sit down and actually crunch the numbers, that doesn't make any sense at all. That's completely idiotic. And I'm not insulting anyone. I believed that way for years. Thanks to Dave Ramsey, my eyes have been open. Now I know. It helps to go through the book again, because the other thing he's going to do in the books, he's going to give you all the steps to his plan. So I can see, okay, we're at this step. This is the next step. We're still on track. We haven't lost where we're going. It's a chance to review the plans. The motivation part with his books, at the end of the book, he's going to address why you're doing this, what the benefits are to doing this. That's vitally important. If I'm dieting and exercising and I have no clue that I'm going to get lean, healthy, and strong, I think I'm skipping chocolate and ice cream and cheeseburgers and sitting on a couch all day watching movies, and I'm going to be just as fat, unhealthy, and out of shape as everyone else, then all I'm doing is suffering. There's no benefit to it. I have to know what the reward is. So it's good to listen to the book again and get the reward. This is a book I definitely recommend if you are a young person and you're getting ready to go out on life. Our schools do not teach you to manage your money. It's not in the school curriculum at all, unless you are blessed enough to have had a mentor or a parent who took the time to teach you proper money management, which they would have to know in the first place to be able to teach you. I unfortunately did a lousy job of teaching my children money management because I didn't understand it myself. I'm trying to correct that now, but that was something I could have started when they were like little and had it fully taught and ingrained by the time they're now adults. It would have been much better for them. It's an area I failed as a parent. No parents are perfect, so I'm not being like harshly critical on myself. I didn't know, and I can't teach what I don't know. If you're young, get the book, listen to it, put yourself on the program, avoid bankruptcy and all the stress and strain that comes from the bondage of mismanaging your money. The book is entertaining. It's a lot of fun. Dave Ramsey has some really cool names for different stuff. Different, instead of a lease, it's a fleece, stuff like that. He narrates the book himself. And he is a very passionate, emphatic, energetic person. If you've listened to his radio programs, he's one of the things I love about Dave Ramsey. He's not going to beat around the bush. He's not going to lie to you. He's not going to tell you, hey, yeah, do this, it'll be easy. No problem. Anytime someone tells you, hey, this is quick, lose 30 pounds in 30 days with our diet, they're full of crap. And you're going to feel like crap when you're done, and you're not going to have lost any weight. Dave Ramsey doesn't do that. He's upfront about you. This is going to be hard. This is going to take work, but it's going to be oh so worth it. And he goes through those benefits, and he tells you what they are worth. If you're like me, I'm 50. We started down our journey just a couple of years ago. 47, 48, I don't know, maybe even earlier than that, but mid-40s at the earliest, we started on this journey. Even if I was just learning this information now, I would start on it now. You're never too late. Doing something is better than doing nothing. So don't let your age stop you from following this program. Thousands and thousands of people have followed this program. It's actually kind of fun when you're talking to someone and money comes up and you go, oh, we're doing the Dave Ramsey thing. And they go, oh, yeah, we're doing the Dave Ramsey. Oh, what step are you at? And everybody knows what everybody is talking about. It is actually really cool and a whole lot of fun. If you like my channel, subscribe, turn on notifications. If you like the video, please hit the like button, help me out. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, send it in my direction. I would love to hear from you. But most importantly, no matter what else you do today, make sure that today you listen to at least one really good book. And I highly recommend any of Dave Ramsey's books. Thank you.